Pascagoula, Mississippi is a small industrial town on the Gulf Coast. Shipyards, chemical plants, and the wide, slow river define the landscape. In 1973, the town was quiet with a mix of factory workers, fishermen, and people who mostly kept to themselves. On the night of October 11th, 1973, two local men, 42-year-old Charles Hickson and 19-year-old Calvin Parker, reported an encounter that would become one of the most documented alleged alien abductions in American history. Their story sparked investigations from law enforcement, UFO researchers, reporters, and skeptics. Decades later, it remains one of the most consistently retold and most difficult to dismiss abduction cases due to the witnesses' behavior, recorded evidence, and the longevity of their accounts. Hey there, listeners, and welcome back to Fear and Flame Podcast. I'm Brooklyn.
I'm Mason.
Wyatt.
And today we're talking about the UFO abduction case of 1973.
Okay.
So,
Dang, she read all that and didn't slip one time.
Not one time. That was impressive.
strike a match.
Right.
Literally, probably one of the we could count.
It'll
on our
never
hands.
happen again.
We'll never how many times that's happened.
Strike a match, light a candle, and settle in. This one is sure to ignite some fear.
There we go.
There you go. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm just saying, I don't think aliens, if they're coming, I don't think they're headed to Mississippi. Was it Mississippi or Missouri?
It's
either
Mississippi.
one.
It's
They're not
Mississippi.
coming to
I
Mississippi.
don't think a lot's going on.
Yeah, they're like, I think that's
Isn't
the
that
one place,
the place
they're
they would be, though?
Is
because
it?
it's the place that you wouldn't think they would be.
Maybe they've got me there. Maybe they're like, you know what, Mississippi is the base of operations.
There you go.
I kind of figured they'd be looking for like the top of the species, but
Yeah. But hey.
I'm just kidding. If you're from Mississippi.
We're not far off from Mississippi here in Oklahoma.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I know, because Oklahoma would be, right? Like, we're really the cream of the crop, I think. You know, they're headed here. Hey, man, if they're looking for a good basketball team, you know, we're the guys. But otherwise, I don't know if we're at the top of their roster either.
No. Have you guys heard of the Pascagoula abduction?
No.
I don't think I have.
For it to be one of the most, well-believed and respected abduction cases,
Yeah.
I've never heard of it before.
Me neither. The only one I've heard that people are like, oh, it's like well respected and hard to disprove is like the one of the guy.
The husband and wife.
No,
one
it was
is
like
the one I think
the
of.
cop or whatever. Like I think in New Mexico or Arizona or something like that. But it was like a cop that said he saw like a spaceship and stuff like that and drew it out. And people were like, well, this isn't the type of guy to lie about it. But
there's the one about the husband and wife. Where they're like driving and something happens with them that I know the most, but I can't think of what their names are, but they're like scientists or something. Like they were well respected people and they didn't tell their story for a long time because they didn't want people to
think that they're cuckoo. Cocoa nuts.
Yeah.
Or Cocoa Puffs. Yeah.
Also, Mason and I are sick
I don't know what it is.
per usual,
Yeah,
so
my bad.
forgive us, but we'll try to make it through this pod.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving,
Yeah, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving.
by the way.
Yep.
We all
Happy
caught
Turkey Day.
Something. Oh, God. I'm sorry.
Little
been a-
cross-contamination in the kitchen.
It's
Yeah,
alright.
that's what it is.
Fine. We didn't even eat from the same place either. I didn't even see these guys. So, you know.
It is what it is. So, who were Charles and Calvin? Before looking at the encounter, it's important to understand who these two men were. So just looking at each person, this is just some top identifying factors about them that would make them more believable. So kind of like with the law enforcement officer. Charles Hickson, this is the one that's a little bit older. He is a Korean War veteran. He worked in the shipbuilding industry. He was described as serious, responsible, and steady, kind of like just a straightforward guy. He was married with children, and he was not known for dramatic behavior or fabrication. You also think these are people in Mississippi, like hardworking guys, or just
No
clocking
nonsense.
in, clocking in. No
you know.
nonsense. Yeah, absolutely.
You got soft hands.
Yeah.
You got soft hands.
So the younger one, I think he's 19, is Calvin Parker. He was a young man. He just moved to Pascagoula to work there. He's very quiet. He was reserved, and he did have a history of anxiety. He was engaged to be married, and coworkers described him as polite and soft-spoken. So just kind of a chill kid. On October 11th, Charles invited Calvin to go fishing along the Pascagoula River to help him settle his nerves about his first day at the new job. Neither man was involved in UFO groups, paranormal circles, or anything that would suggest pre-existing interest in aliens or publicity. So nothing, they weren't like at the lunch in the break room like, oh yeah, what do y'all think about the little gray men that
They're
wear
two
suits?
factory workers or shipbuilders from Mississippi. They're not, you know.
They're not sitting there, let me get my tin hat on.
Yeah, saying, well, I've got my whatever. What do they call that little instrument thing? With the tooth, you know. What I'm
Sorry. Gotta tighten that thing back up.
All right. Go ahead, Mason.
God, I don't even know. Is it a third something? The Thurbin?
The EMF detector?
No. You know,
Thurbin?
Thurbin? I don't know. Some Russian dude made it. It makes all like the alien sounds.
Oh, that might be what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. If I thought you were talking about shipbuilding,
And then they kind of like,
they were using something called a thurbin. I was like,
thurbin.
I don't know what that.
You know, for shipbuilding.
yeah, you know, you got to make it.
Would that like attract aliens? Is that what that thing's supposed to do?
Or
Like
something.
turkeys, and you have a turkey call, but it's an
I'm
alien
sure that's
call.
what
and
people think. Somebody thinks that. You know.
This is the aliens breeding call.
There's got to be one guy in Mississippi that thinks that. You know what I mean?
the environment that night.
If they're chasing, don't fall down.
So the environment that night. The two men set up near an abandoned shipyard and sat on a small pier that extended over the river. Differences in their accounts aside, they both reported an unusual detail. They said the environment became extremely quiet shortly before the sighting. We always know this is a bad sign. No sounds of insects, no splashes from the river, no distant machinery. The detail is found in several other high-credibility UFO encounter reports. While it cannot be verified independently, it is a consistent part of both of their testimonies.
Yeah, man, if you're at a river too and it just goes
Quiet.
Yeah,
No frogs, no nothing. Yeah, just dead silent. And you get that uncomfy feeling like I need to get out of here. Mm-hmm. So the sighting of the craft. Around 9 p.m., both Charles and Calvin reported seeing a bright blue or bluish-white light approaching from above the water. They described it as oval or egg-shaped and approximately 30 to 40 feet long. It had light, but no sound was coming from it at all. It kind of hovered just like above the ground near where their location was. This specific shape and silent motion were unusual for known aircraft in 1973, including military or industrial machines. Both men stated that the craft did not create wind, vibration, or mechanical noise, which investigators later highlighted as unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the time, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah. In general,
just-
I think. If you've got something that's just, oh, well.
So I have the younger guy, Calvin Parker's. I did like a POV. So this is based on his actual testimony, but it's like dramatized, so it might be a little bit off. But basically, this is his point of view of what happened for the encounter. I never really wanted to go fishing that night. Not really. But Mr. Charlie was good company, and I didn't want to seem rude. I was new in town.
Yeah. I'm like, well, you know.
Well, Mr. Charlie.
Really want to go fishing.
But I was new in town, working at the shipyard with him. So when he asked, you feel like casting a line? I said yes. I was tying a lure when the world went silent, like sound just cut off. No insects, no water, no nothing. Just stillness. I looked up and saw this blue light sweeping across the riverbank. I froze. 3 beings floated towards us. They didn't walk, they drifted. Their legs never moved. Their skin looked gray and wrinkled like old leather. No claws, their arms clicked softly as they came closer. Their faces? Gosh, no eyes. No proper mouth, just slits and bumps where features should be. I wanted to run, but my legs refused. Something grabbed me from behind. Cold, hard, and clamp-like. I felt a sting in my arm, and then nothing. My body shut down completely. I couldn't scream or breathe or even pray. Inside their craft, I was separated from Mr. Charlie. I couldn't turn my head, but could see a little by shifting my eyes. The walls seemed alive, like they pulsed faintly. One of the beings leaned over me. I couldn't feel its breath or maybe the air shifting around me. Another machine, round, floating, came out of the wall. It scanned me with a soft humming noise, moving inches from my skin. Then something else appeared. This one was different. More human-like. A female shape, but not human. She examined me, touching my jaw, my head, my chest. Her skin was smooth but cold. I couldn't move, but inside I was screaming. I kept thinking, they're not letting me go. They're not taking me back. But suddenly it stopped. Just like that, the little beans lifted me, floating again, and carried me outside. They dropped me near the riverbank hard like I was cargo. My legs wouldn't hold me. My heart felt like it might burst. I saw Mr. Charlie talking to me, but I barely heard him. The craft shot upward without sound, disappearing into the night sky faster than anything I'd ever seen. I sat there trembling until he pulled me up. Calvin, he said quietly, we can't keep this to ourselves. I didn't want anyone to know. I didn't want any of this. But we walked to the sheriff's office anyway, and that night still lives in me every time I close my eyes.
I'd been like, Calvin, we got to keep this to ourselves.
Man, that's some good weed for the 70s, man. I mean...
Wasn't no ditch weed.
The paralysis is terrifying because it's just like sleep paralysis. So it's you can't move, you can't scream, you can't do anything. This weird little gray leathery looking thing just grabs you. You're paralyzed. They bring you into their craft. Here's the thing is...
Not ideal.
If you were going to tell somebody, would you go immediately?
Would you go to the police?
And would you
Also,
go immediately? Or is it something you'd be like, we need to just think about this and talk it out first?
I don't know.
I feel like it depends on how confident whatever I saw was
Like how much
happening.
you believed it.
Yeah, because if I was like, you know what? Nah.
Maybe
like,
I fell and hit my head.
yeah, maybe we, maybe there's like a natural gas pocket around here that made us get a little loopy or something.
Yeah,
I
like
don't know.
maybe we need to go to the... Would you go to the hospital first?
I would maybe go to the hospital.
Yeah, and have him, if he felt like he got stuck with something, you could at least go and be like, hey, do I have a needle mark
or something? Or can we test my blood and see if something was injected into me? Yeah.
Can we get some brain
I
waves?
think that would be the first step would be like, okay, let's go to the hospital. Mm-hmm. Make sure we're good. And then if we're still convinced that we actually had that happen, then go to the police. Yeah. Because I'd be like, let me just see if maybe something's wrong with us before.
I think it depends on how confident I am that I'm going to be able to explain the situation, whereas I get medical attention, but not so much as where I get sent to the I think is going to be the line that I have to figure out if I can cross. If not, then...
I don't really want to be sent to the mental institution, but also, like, am I okay?
Yeah, maybe I get, like, can we get a scan?
Give me just what do y'all got? Let me just try it all.
Yeah, if you got any test, really. No, I think it's got to be. I've got to be convinced, but I think the hospital's probably
the best first bet.
Yeah,
because
what's the police?
Yeah, what are the cops going to do? They're going to be we'll be on the lookout.
I guess we'll be on the lookout for the non-human.
They're just going to laugh at you, dude.
Yeah, I mean.
Let's get into, so this is the arrival of the beans. This is going to just kind of go back into like actually what they look like. It said, here is where the case diverges from most normal abduction stories. Neither man reported small gray aliens. Instead, they described 3 humanoid entities with characteristics that appeared more mechanical than biological. Descriptions from the earliest interviews from them include 5 to 6 feet tall, the pale gray wrinkled texture. So they had a grayish. There were slits where the eyes would be, 2 straight protrusion where ears would be. They had large mitten-like hands, almost claw-like. Probably that's where they're getting the mechanical movement that suggested gliding rather than walking. Charles, the older and more articulate witness at the time, regularly said that he believed the beings were robots or robotic. Calvin consistently described them the same way until his death in 2023. Both men reported that the beings moved directly toward them and that they felt a sudden loss of control over their bodies or a sort of paralysis. So on the account, both men said they were lifted or floated into the craft and not carried physically. Inside the craft, Charles reported the following. He said he was placed in a bright area. Large mechanical football-shaped eyes scanned him. He did not see the robotic entities for most of the examination, and he felt he was being observed by something else in the room that he couldn't see. Calvin's memory was more fragmented, and I think it was due to like fear and trauma because he already struggled with anxiety anyways. Mm-hmm. He said that a similar scanning device examined him, and he saw entities deeper into the craft. He also believed that the additional entities were different from the robotic ones because he said that they seemed more like human looking. The details emerged not from later interviews, but early private discussions both men had with police and investigators. Both men said the experience lasted only a few minutes before they were returned to the riverbank. So it was a very short encounter that they believe. Because, sometimes with alien abductions, there's like this huge span of time, like the encounter. Yeah, the encounter feels short, but actually they get back and it's hours later or something. I think it was like around the same time that they had been there anyways. It wasn't like we just like lost track of 4 hours or something like that.
I think that it's interesting, the thought of like what picked him up may have just been like a robot or like some type
it's also so weird to me, like with how different it is every single time when people see aliens. Some people are like, oh, they're great looking or whatever. Like to hear them be more robotic is interesting to me, because a lot of the cases I've heard, they have not been robotic.
Yeah.
Because there's a cryptid, isn't there a cryptid that's supposed to be robotic? Like there's a missing 411 case where the kid actually came back and he like saw like a robot I think that's kind of weird. Yeah. But it looked like a robot.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe that's an alien. I don't know. It's interesting though, different from some of the other ones.
Yeah. And the alien that touched him being cold.
Yeah, cold. Which he said that one looked more human, but it was cold, so I don't know.
She might have had circulatory issues.
Yeah, same. I've really got to get...
man, yeah, sometimes I have
I really have to get some compression socks for real. Like, I'm having some circulation issues. Maybe they just need some compression socks.
Some compression gloves or something, man. I mean...
So the immediate aftermath, once back on the pier, both men panicked. Calvin, the younger one, vomited, so he threw up. He was messed up. Charles tried to calm him down. He was shaking. They debated whether to call anyone. After deciding they couldn't keep the incident to themselves, they drove to the county sheriff's office, so Jackson County Sheriff's Office. Chief Deputy Fred Diamond, which just sounds like a fake name, but Fred Diamond and Sheriff Charles Crabtree questioned them. They were suspicious of a hoax, so the officers put the two men alone in a room and secretly recorded them, hoping their stories would fall apart. So they're like, if we separate them, just kind of fill it out and see if their stories don't match up, then it's probably fake. So they did not tell them they were recording them. The recording, which is one of the most significant pieces of evidence of the case, was on the tape. It's still available publicly, so you can go find it. The men speak quietly, and they are unaware that they're being monitored. Key details include Calvin repeatedly expressing fear the beans will return, so he was very scared. Charles attempted to calm him, but his voice shaked. Neither expressed hope of gaining attention or fame, so they weren't like looking for publicity or fame. They didn't want anything like that. Their story does not change. Anytime they've been asked or interviewed, their story is the same. They speak about the event reluctantly and with confusion. Investigators, including skeptical ones, later said if they were lying, they were giving the performance of a lifetime to an empty room. This tape is often cited as the main reason many researchers consider the case credible. So, based off of just their interview, I guess, they were very, very...
authentic?
Genuine, authentic. They sold it if it was made up. Especially, I think, with Calvin just being so afraid. Like, he was sick. Like, literally throwing up because he was so scared they were going to come back and get him.
Yeah. I feel like...
How do you handle the situation? Like, how do you, as an enforcement, like a law enforcement officer, how do you handle cases and situations where it is like the paranormal almost? Because immediately you want to take it like, this isn't serious. Like, this isn't
immediately
real.
it's like this guy's on some.
Yeah, like drugs, something else is involved. How do you get past that and be like, okay, maybe this actually is real, and then what do we do?
Yeah, because for a while it's like, well, this will be an interesting Wednesday night. So,
I guess we're going to Pascagoula River and check the riverbank and see if there's anything. I guess once the story leaked, national news outlets arrived within 48 hours.
Dang.
48 hours of them going to the police station.
Quick to the punch.
Multiple UFO researchers visited Pascagoula, and the news ran the story nationwide. People began showing up near the river hoping to see the craft, which is also just crazy to me. People are just like
they probably
weird.
I mean,
not here.
If it was here, I mean, they're going to come back the next night, obviously. We all got to be out here waiting on the riverbank.
We'll be at the bank,
Obviously, there were
Don't they know the news is
skeptics.
coming?
They probably want to get their side of the story out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, wait to
We didn't
interview
really
the
kidnap
aliens.
them. Yeah,
like-
they were.
They said they wanted to come.
Yeah. They said they were cool with it, guys. I don't know. You know,
the kid
everybody's
threw
freaking
up.
out.
We didn't know he was going to be that scared,
Yeah,
you know?
Dude flipped. I mean, you know.
We had to ditch him.
Supporters claimed it was a breakthrough alien event. Neither man seemed prepared for this reaction. Charles handled interviews, but Calvin withdrew almost immediately. So the kid, like, he was like, I don't want any part of this. Calvin Parker's trauma and long silence. So his psychological reaction set this case apart from typical hoax scenarios because he avoided interviews for decades. He repeatedly said that he wanted to be left alone, that the encounter overwhelmed him. He didn't want to become associated with UFO culture. They even say that the event had caused him long-term anxiety, so I'm sure he had a lot of issues mentally, emotionally after that. He moved away from Mississippi and changed jobs several times to avoid attention. He didn't want people knowing that he was associated with this case.
Yeah.
He returned to public discussions in 2018, 45 years later, when he published a book to document his side before his health declined. So he was sick on hospice. I actually watched like an interview of him and he was like, well, I'm dying. He basically said, I'm dying. He said, I have nothing to lie about. He said, I'll tell you now. And he had his book. So there's a book if you want to go read his side of the story. He wrote a book of everything that happened. They did polygraph tests and lots of interviewing, investigating them. Charles Hickson took a polygraph test administered by a professional examiner and passed. Later, other examiners would debate the accuracy, but the original examiner stated that Hickson showed no signs of deception at all whatsoever. Calvin failed an early test, but people believe it was only because he was too emotionally distressed to complete it. Years later, he passed additional polygraphs. Several independent investigators, including both believers and skeptics, documented the case. Most agreed the men did not appear to be lying, though the interpretation of what they experienced does kind of vary. Other witnesses and reports say that something rarely included in the mainstream retellings was that multiple people on the Gulf Coast reported unusual lights the same night. These included fishermen on the Pascagoula River, a group of people near Ingle Shipyard, reports made to law enforcement, so people were calling the police saying that they saw something strange, and then a Coast Guard station noting unidentified aerial activity. None of the witnesses reported seeing beings or an abduction, but the lights were described as consistent with the objects Charles and Calvin had described. So numerous people the exact same night as something happened to them were calling, saying they saw something weird. Other people, especially if you say a Coast Guard station noted something weird, I
Yeah.
feel like that's kind of like, oh, even the people in the army or
Yeah.
people that are in the, so I think
Like,
that's
it's not just some
interesting.
guys being like, yeah, no, we saw
Yeah,
that.
it was crazy, and there were
Yeah.
lights, and
Yeah, because I mean, like, I would do that.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I'll get on the news.
you know
sure.
what? If they had this experience, I think I saw something too
Yeah,
that
I
night.
wouldn't mind being on the 9 o'clock. Yeah, I think I saw some.
I'll back him up. In his later years, Calvin shared additional details he had withheld because he feared ridicule. He stated, he saw more than the robotic entities. They were taller humanoid figures inside of the craft. He felt the encounter was observational but not communicative. So he didn't think they were communicating with them. He just thought they were looking at them, basically. He believed the robotic beings were scouts or tools used by the main entities inside. So he almost made it seem like the humanoid creatures that were inside, the aliens, had these robots that they were using as, like, I don't know, like remote control cars.
Yeah.
Kinda. Like,
Yeah, like drones
Drones,
almost.
kind of,
Hey,
yeah.
I'm going to go,
Yeah,
go
like-
check that fella out.
yeah. So they weren't having to get out of the craft. It's
Yeah.
basically like they're
It's
being a
cold
little lazy.
outside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
being a little lazy.
You know.
They're already cold enough inside. If they went out, you know. I
Yeah.
don't-
Well, you know, it's rainy out. We'll go get the
Here's
drone.
the craziest thing to me is people always, not always say this, but a lot of abduction encounters, this is what kind of makes me, I'm like, is they say they experience continued encounters throughout their life.
I mean, if the aliens had a favorite,
Yeah. You know.
It
Can you
makes
have a
sense.
favorite,
If
or
it's
is it
gonna
just
get-
like, okay, people might already think you're crazy because we've already messed with you.
That's probably
So
their
now-
favorite. It's like,
So now we're just going to keep observing you over and over and over again because,
That's
you
not a
know.
bad idea.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? You gonna tell somebody?
Look how that's
What did they think last time?
So I just feel like I don't know how I teeter on that. I'm like, do you think they would actually do that? Do they really need to do that? But maybe if
It
they
might be
just,
something special about that one person. that
Maybe.
they're observing.
I'm like, oh man, that guy's jacked up. So I've never seen one of
see.
these guys do that before.
researchers differ on their interpretation of the later claims, but they remain consistent in his recorded interviews. So some of the leading interpretations used by investigators presented without endorsing any. These are possible explanations. Literal extraterrestrial encounter. The case fits many alleged abduction patterns, but with unusually physical, mechanical-like entities. Military technology tests. Some skeptics argue the event involves secret military equipment.
I don't know why our military would be doing that.
No. However, no non-technology matched the description. No branches claimed involvement, which that doesn't mean anything to me anyways.
Yeah, I know.
But
And the paralysis and scanning descriptions remain hard to explain for the time. I just don't think our government.
Don't
They
say
would
that.
literally just
No,
take somebody. Like I don't.
I think they'd just take somebody if they wanted.
Yeah. I mean, well,
Yeah.
you're coming with us.
Yeah.
They've done it before.
And that'd be the end of that.
No heck. Yeah. I mean, whatever. DARPA probably is just like, yeah, let's just get a guy. They just may be bored. They're like,
Yeah.
you know what? It's Friday. Let's go get a couple fellas.
Yeah.
Shared hallucination or psychological event. This is what is often suggested, but the men had different backgrounds. They remained consistent with their stories for decades. Like it never changed. They weren't seeking attention. And the secret recording contradicts planning or confusion. So since the police were secretly recording them, people think like, oh, they were telling like what they would have actually said instead of like if they knew they were being recorded, they would have changed the story or
Yeah.
something maybe.
I don't know. I feel like, I mean, the problem with something like that is, I mean, you don't have any actual like proof.
Yep.
You know,
There's
like
nothing.
it's just two guys being like, yeah, no, we saw something.
Yep.
Like, and they could have just been really good at,
Yep.
You know.
They already had their story. The thing is just the fact that Calvin did not want any attention whatsoever for years. He didn't seek any, like, he didn't want to be involved. Unknown natural phenomenon. Some researchers propose unexplained environmental or neurological events. But it didn't explain, like, the detailed descriptions of the entities. If you had to choose, so there was 4 options. Actually, it's aliens. Like, actually, it's just an alien. It's the military, it's a hallucination or psychological event, or it's a natural phenomenon, whether that be environmental or neurological, which I feel like kind of goes in with hallucinations, but
yeah.
I think it's alien.
So if we're assuming they're not lying,
Yes. Hurry, Mason, they're gonna get you. Hurry.
dadgummit, dude. Okay, now we're protected.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that if they're not lying, I would say, dadgummit. Either.
If they're not lying, I think it has to be an alien.
You think it has to be?
I think it has to be.
It may be an alien.
Like its face.
You see, the problem with the alien thing that's always bothered me is there's no point in all this like smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, like why do it? Like,
Yeah.
What's the?
like
I
if
mean,
you,
it's maybe okay. Let's just.
and here's the other thing too: is if you're advanced enough to where you can like make a dude float, like and
Yeah.
be paralyzed, what's to say you can't make them just get knocked out or just make them?
forget it,
Yeah,
or
like.
That's true.
Why are they
Induce some
getting seen by
amnesia.
people all the time? That kind of thing. It's just.
But maybe they just have a sense of humor and they like they think it's funny.
They got a pretty screwed up sense.
Maybe.
Yeah, they're just like like
Maybe they do it for fun.
yeah.
If I was
really,
in that position, I'd probably screw people.
Yeah, they'd be like, well,
that is true though. Like with the smoke and mirrors type of thing.
I like I've heard the idea, and I like the idea of like that alien like abductions or whatever are just like high school aged aliens coming and messing. Like they're like Earth is like a hot spot to come and mess with just people and watch them freak out
Yeah.
or whatever. And
like
then,
they're sneaking out. My parents don't know where they are.
Yeah, like it's just like
Stole the car and
just kids being dumb. Like, you know, like that's always that's a fun thought.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, I'm kind of with Wyatt. If they're gonna do it, I feel like that they could do it without
Better.
all of the like I feel like it wouldn't be that much effort above what all they're doing to just not
If you
be
can,
seen.
if you can paralyze a man and float him into your spaceship, I have a feeling you could keep him from remembering.
Yeah, you've got like a bat surely somewhere you can
Give him a good bag.
like
So are you leaning more towards like a psychological, like a shared hallucination or some kind of environmental factor?
Probably, or they're just lying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they kept their story up, but me and a buddy could agree on a story and keep it up.
yeah.
It's just a lot of work and a lot of attention, and which maybe you want the attention.
Yeah, like that's the thing is like they could have like the argument of like, oh well, they didn't like say things and they said they didn't want the attention or like that. Like could all just
still
be
got
like,
the attention.
yeah, they got the attention, so that may have just been a scheme to like get the attention and make it seem
to
more
say
authentic.
to make it more genuine.
Yeah. So I'd say
I don't know. I just don't think that I'm a very lazy person. Also, I just don't think I would want to keep up with that for so long. Like I would just get tired of like, no, I was lying.
No.
Like that's just a lie.
It depends on how committed to the bit you are.
And
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure. If you flip like 20 years down the road, there's going to be some pissed off alien people.
That's true. When you start getting involved in some of
If
these
you're in
deep
too
groups,
deep, at what point is it just like...
It's
I got to just
dangerous
stick with
to
my
turn
story.
back.
Yeah.
There's some lunatic out there that...
Because that might have proved their point. And that might have proved a point that they had, like...
Again.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think more than likely, probably lying. I'll go with that. But if they're not, I'll go with like the military argument. Sure, why not? It's probably like,
It's just our military. Well, they could have just drugged them.
Yeah, I mean, we had whatever it was, the SR-71 back in like the 60s or 70s. Who's to say we didn't have...
Some floating quiet machine.
Yeah.
They just dosed him with LSD and it was part of the MK Ultra deal.
Yeah,
They could have.
I mean,
100%.
At the end of the day.
They just wore like crappy gray costumes. Hit them with a bunch of LSD.
Had the Iron Man suit on. Just
Painted the eyeball on a football. And
if you're high enough, I mean.
Yeah, enough LSD, you'll believe anything, man. I mean, heck.
These dudes are tripping balls.
So Jared, come check this out. Come here, watch.
Starts throwing up. So the case persists. The case persists because the Pascagoula abduction remains significant due to 2 witnesses with corroborated stories. Neither benefited financially until 2018 when Calvin made that book, but he was on his way out.
That's the long game.
He was on his way out. They both suffered stress, so they both had emotional torment, basically. Like they were emotionally messed up from all the attention. This is what they say, at least. There's audio recordings showing unguarded fear. Polygraphs generally support their claims. Other sightings occurred the same night. It wasn't just them. And it would make more sense, but also you have to think like they live in this small town that's kind of tight knit. They could have been like, "Hey, I have an alien story I just made up. I need you to call the police at about 9:00 and say that you saw a weird object in the sky." But there was other sightings.
Yeah.
The men maintained their story for their entire lives, and there was a combination of factors that are very rare in other alien abduction cases. So basically, theirs was just unique.
Yeah.
Their story was unique.
The only thing that would actually get me to believe in a alien sighting without actual physical proof is if just a bunch of people were like, "Yeah, I know we saw it." Like if like a whole
town,
town was like, "Yeah, I know." Like
we could probably make that happen.
We could. What do you claim here?
Let's do town square. Get to town square. Town meeting.
Well, there's an alien.
All right, everybody. We need to agree on one story. This is what it is.
All right.
We're going to make this town the biggest there's ever been.
Now, think of all the financial
Honestly, though, you could become a very...
Yeah. Dude, if you've got like a town...
Or we make our own cryptid up and everybody starts having sightings and stuff.
We can have a museum. Like, you know how much tourism that would bring in? Oh, dude. So much.
All the tourism.
So much.
Which is money.
Yeah, that's money.
But we don't get the money.
We don't. But like,
why do you want to build?
We could.
New library books, add some stuff to the park.
Move out.
Well, maybe that would help too. The cryptids.
God.
Start killing people's pets. I'm just kidding. I'm cutting that.
Said we start murdering people.
Yeah.
Then they'll leave.
Like maybe if we hung their cats outside their door. Like, okay.
All right.
We can get rid of some
talking about
folks.
aliens.
We can get rid of some
We just
folks.
wanted a museum.
Yeah. So it's one of the most extensively documented alleged alien encounters in American history. I've never heard of it, but it's one of the biggest.
Now,
Whether interpreted as ET or a misunderstanding, something in between, it stands out because of the witnesses' behavior and the long-term impact on their lives. Researchers, this case remains open. Skeptics, it remains unexplained. But for Charles and Calvin, it was a life-changing event they never asked for. And for the town of Pascagoula, it remains a moment in history that still draws questions more than 50 years later.
I feel like I probably have heard something about
Pascagoula sounds
very
familiar. The name sounds familiar, but like I didn't know any of the details of the case.
I don't think I've ever heard this story. I
Yeah.
think that's the first time I've. Because most of the UFO sighting stories too happen like the 40s, the 50s.
Yeah, early.
The big
Yeah.
ones. Yeah.
The ones that are most well known. Do you guys believe in aliens at all?
I don't know if I believe in aliens, but I wouldn't be shocked. You know what I mean? I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
I think that there's probably enough space out in space
Yeah.
that there may be somebody else.
Maybe something else.
Yeah, with how much there is out there, it would be hard to think that this is the only planet that could support life.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's
No,
also
no.
the chance that we are the most sophisticated life form out there so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know if we were the lucky first kind of deal. Maybe there's a planet out there with germs on it or something kind of things.
Yeah, that's
Do
technically.
you think we are the aliens? Do you think that we are the aliens?
If we
No.
showed up, it's like that one movie where
Yeah, if we went somewhere else, we would be
Yeah.
alien.
But I mean,
Since
like,
we live here, we're not.
like, do you think that? Because I've told you guys this. My belief
oh boy.
is that I told you, yes, that the aliens are just us in the future, like future
Oh,
us.
you're taking the interstellar
Yes. Yeah.
like we're just making
We're
it
time
all happen.
like a UFO is a time travel machine, basically,
It is a cool idea.
and we are just jacking with people. Like
That would be kind of funny.
just like-
Again, teenagers, but like instead of like
Yes,
alien
yes.
teenagers, it's just teenagers
Meet the
from
Robinsons,
the year like
Meet the Robinsons. is
30,000 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think. It's
No,
a fun
I
idea.
really do feel like the world will end before that. We get to that point,
You
but
think so?
probably.
We probably have 20 years.
Probably, if we're lucky. 20
figure that
to
time
20 to
out.
30 years left.
We
You guys
better get her done.
get things going where they need to be
Good night.
going.
No, yeah, I don't know. That's a cool idea. I think
Cool idea, but
I don't know, but what's scarier, the fact that like there are aliens out there, or the fact that we are completely alone and there's nothing else, and there's.
I'd rather be completely alone.
Yeah.
Think so? Okay, well, never mind. Whatever. Whatever.
I find it scary that there's not something else out there.
That may be able to.
I'd rather it be empty.
I'm
space.
I'm comforted the fact that this is the only life form here.
And it is interesting too, because I don't know who brought it up first, but I've heard Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about it, how there's like the possible like barriers, of life, of like where you have to make it through certain, like maybe there's just a certain like loop that every other civilization hasn't been able to make it through, and either we've made it through and we're continuing on, or we have yet to hit that wall.
Yeah.
Maybe we do burn through all of our resources before we're able to like get to somewhere else without. But I don't know.
So are you talking like Ice Age? Like we've had to like have to survive through all these different.
Yeah, like maybe we make it past all these, and maybe every other civilization does, but maybe there's one thing that's like most of them can't get it
Get
through,
past.
if any of them.
Yeah.
There's
And
probably ending war.
yeah,
That would be my guess as to what the big step is.
Yeah. And just people become too.
it's just like, well, we want your land now.
Yeah. Yep. Just become too selfish and greedy.
Maybe that's the big barrier.
That's it. That's
That's
a big
probably
barrier.
it.
Honestly, that sounds about right.
And we can't do it.
Speaking of which, happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving.
Hope you
Let's
had a
be
good
grateful. Let's be.
Hey, we made it this far. Good for us. Look what all we did.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us in today's episode. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like and subscribe. We love hearing from you. Please make sure to like and comment. We want to know if you have any ideas on topics or just whatever you think.
You can
whatever
email
you're
us,
feeling.
by the way.
Email us.
I don't know if you guys
Fear and
know
flame
that.
from you.
I don't know.
I have an email.
Yeah, we have an email. I don't know if anybody's ever emailed it, but
Yeah, we are appreciative of the comments, though.
Yeah.
We love the comments. So
comment
fun.
more.
The guy making music, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is
shout
sick.
out, guy.
Yeah.
I wish I could make music.
Yeah.
I just make kids cry.
Yeah.
Find us here next time on the Fear and Flame podcast.
See ya.
Bye.